Hey guys, welcome into my channel and today's video. I swear my phone has been going off for like the last 2 weeks straight with all the Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Thanks Tuesday, like early Black Friday sales, where I'm having to like charge my phone multiple times a day for how many texts and emails that I'm getting for all the deals that are going on for holiday right now. I tried to restrain myself. I tried to resist purchasing any more because I really don't need anything, but there were like some Black Friday deals from some brands that I just gave into. Like, they're just ones that I've wanted to try. The deals just seemed really good, and like it's a brand that I know that I really like, and so there are a couple more items that I wanted to pick up, so I did. I need to get better lights in here because these lights just not like natural lights, and anytime I'm filming in the evening, it just looks like yellow. I get it. I'm sorry. It sucks. I thought we'd just sit down and do a full face of new makeup of all the stuff that I purchased. And I placed an order with Make Beauty. I've been really enjoying their products. And then I got a ton of stuff from Moira Beauty. That's what I wanted to focus on today, was the stuff from Make Beauty and from Moira Beauty. Moira did have a new release. It was the I'm Falling For You palette. So I picked this up. I've had this for a few weeks, but I haven't like tried it yet. And so I got a couple of other things from Moira Beauty, so I thought that we'd try those as well. Moira would be a new brand for me. Like, I've never tried anything from them. But Make Beauty, I have tried their two like recent releases, which were the Skin MIMETIC Micro Suede Bronzer and the Skin MIMETIC Blush. And I also have like another liquid blush from them that I thought was really good. And so I've been quite enjoying all of their stuff. And so when they had, I think it was 20% off on their website, and I don't know if this is still going on, but if it is, I will link their like website below. A lot of the beauty brands are still doing a lot of the sales like through this week, so there's still a lot of things that are still available for like discount, even though most of them are coming out as like Black Friday. But anyway, if they are still on sale, I will like link everything below so that you can go to their site and check it out. I also picked up a new set of Refer brushes. I'm pretty excited about that. It was actually a full set. This is just the 4 that I pulled out, but it was their full package, their full line. I purchased the whole thing. I've really wanted to try Refer brushes because I hear such good things about them. I see a lot of people using them, but I hadn't ever pulled the trigger because they're more expensive. And so when they were having their sale, I bought these and the whole set came, and I'm just like super thrilled. So far, I've been really enjoying them. These ones I have used already, but the other ones I haven't touched yet. Okay, so it looks like I have 6 different Make Beauty products that I picked up. And then it looks like I have also 6 Moira Beauty products. And so I think we're gonna get these all onto my face. So if you've never tried Make Beauty and you are like really a makeup lover, I think these are great quality. Like, I think these are fantastic. I have been wowed so much by their quality and their recent releases that like each time like I get something new, I'm like, oh, I go to their website and I go, I'm gonna get something else. And so that's kind of what I've done with Make. It started with the bronzer, and then it went with the liquid blush, and then I also picked up the powder blush, and then now going back and purchasing these other items. I got like quite a bit from their line this time, not everything, but like quite a bit. So honestly, like, I would recommend you check out that brand. So far, I've been impressed with the 3 things, and let's see how the rest of it goes today. Basically a full face. The only thing that I don't have is eyebrows, so I just threw on my Benefit Precisely My Brow. We do have a skin tint. So this is the Make Beauty Diffusion Dew Radiant Skin Tint. This is huge. It's just 1 fluid ounce, but it's like the size of my head. It's really long and thin, and their concealer is like the same way. This is their Skin MIMETIC concealer. Look at this thing. It's like the biggest, longest concealer I've ever seen. So let's open this guy up. Hopefully it's the right shade. This one is in light 1.5. Look at this. This is not going to go straight up and down in the drawer, I'll tell you that right now. So it's called Diffusion Dew. Let's read this. The next generation skin tint features skin mimicking pigments that add radiant coverage while blurring, smoothing, and brightening. Sheer yet buildable, this lightweight product is formulated with added niacinamide and adenosine, I think, to enhance skin for a glowing, healthy looking complexion. To use, shake vigorously, apply a few pumps, and blend into the skin using fingertip sponge or a brush. Build coverage as desired. If you're like curious, this is a glass component, and it does come with the pump, and it has like the Make on the top there. So it's quite nice. The top is like matte black, and then the pump is a glossy black. Let's check this consistency. There is the first pump there. It's quite liquidy. So, okay, cool. Going in half the face, gonna do a pretty light application. I didn't take the whole thing. brand new clean sponge. Let's bounce it. That's everything blended in that I put on. It doesn't even look like I put anything on. I see radiance, but I don't really see any coverage. So I'm gonna go and pick up the rest of what's on my hand and tap that in as well. Where'd she go? Where'd you go? What happened? Let's try and build her. You guys, that is the lightest coverage. It's funny, like, I never know what to expect with skin tints. Sometimes they say that they're buildable and they're sheer, but then you get them on and there's a lot more coverage to them than you anticipated. That's just not what I see with this. Like, this one is a true sheer finish. Whatever, it's pretty sheer, but it has like so much radiance to it. Like, there's that side and there's that side. This was almost more like a primer, and it's like, it's dewy, but it's not like overly tacky. But it's, if the concealer's pretty good, then maybe they pair really well together. I don't know. We're going into the other side. I'm gonna do like a half pump again. This is the kind where, like, even if you're off slightly on the shade, it's not gonna matter because it's just so sheer that it's gonna be like super expandable. Well, you saw me blend it in. It's really easy to blend in. It's super dewy, not a whole lot of coverage. This reminds me a lot of like the Glossier Perfecting Skin Tint, like a whisper of coverage, just not a lot. I have to say I did just declutter the Glossier Perfecting Skin Tint because it just wasn't like enough coverage for me. Like, if I'm gonna wear something, you know, out and not at the pool, it's probably gonna be something with like an SPF in it if it's really light coverage. Otherwise, I'm going to work or I'm going out and I want something with a little bit more coverage. And so the Perfecting Skin Tint from Glossier just didn't really have like a purpose in my collection, and I'm pretty sure this doesn't have SPF. So let's see what the concealer can do. So again, we know that this is like a huge concealer, the Skin MIMETIC concealer. It says it provides buildable medium coverage with a radiant finish, formulated with skin mimicking pigments, red algae, and that word again, the adenosine. This product blends seamlessly into the skin to conceal and correct while hydrating. Ideal for spot coverage or layering over foundation. Can also be used as a highlighter or a contour. A highlighter? That's interesting. How radiant is it? You can clearly tell I don't always read the descriptions when I'm buying these things. I kind of look at the pictures and go, ooh, that looks good. And it'll say like medium buildable coverage. And I'm like, okay, sold. Here's the packaging. And on the other side, you can see how much product is in it. I think the like Haley's concealer reminds me of this one, just very long, kind of like a marker shaped concealer. It's one of the doe foot applicators that looks like a candle, and it has like kind of an opening in there. Here's the swatch. It's definitely lightweight formula. And at first when I swatched it, I thought, okay, well it's medium, but then I can almost see through it. Like, so it's more sheer than I think they're leading on. And this one is in the shade 03 Light C, which probably stands for cool. Let's get this on the same eye that, you know, we started with. And I think we'll just start with this. Like, I'll just apply this to the under eye, but I won't spot conceal. First pass, don't think it's medium. Think it's light and lightweight. I can see the radiance to it. It feels very hydrating, but I would never just do one coat with this concealer. Like, I can already tell this is something that I would layer up. It's just so light. The finish is nearly identical. Like, they're both super radiant. Let's see if it'll spot conceal like anything. Okay, not really. Like, it doesn't have a whole lot of coverage. When they say it's also good for spot concealing, probably not. Usually what I'm using my concealer for when I have a lighter weight skin tint is that I hope that this is subsidizing the coverage that I'm not getting from the lighter foundation or the skin tint. So I don't know if this is gonna be something that I like. I just think it's too light. Going into the other side now. Do you guys like that? Like, are you guys like into really light concealers, lightweight and light coverage concealers? I almost think concealers are more important that work well than foundations are. Super dewy, super radiant, very hydrating, very, very minimal coverage. I have two face powders. One from Make, which is the Diffusion Set translucent pressed powder. Oh, look at that reflection. And then I have one from Moira, which is the Soft Focus Waterproof Setting Powder. This says with natural oils, rosehip, and avocado. I want to try both. I think I picked this up because I'm really excited for like waterproof products here in Florida. It gets very humid. So I've been really enjoying waterproof products lately. So I want to try one on either side of the face. Let's do the Make Beauty one first. This one is in the shade Translucent, but light to medium. This ultra soft refillable translucent setting powder is formulated with microsphere powders and a mineral complex that sets foundation and concealer while absorbing excess oil for a smoother looking complexion. Biotech derived algae helps balance the complexion. Apply to any areas you want to mattify or all over. I like that it's refillable. I've been buying a lot of refillable products lately. There's the inside. One of the things that I've said about Make Beauty's packaging is that it's quite sleek, it's very easy to store, pretty consistent. Like you can tell what's what because they are like, here's the bronzer, here's the powder, here's the blush. They're not all just one color, so it's not confusing. I kind of like that, I guess. I'm gonna do this side of the face and I'm just gonna use my sponge to apply the powder. Let's do it under the eye and see what we get first. I feel like that had a hint of tint, don't you? Like it actually offered like a little bit of coverage. Can you see the difference? This has a huge amount of coverage. I feel like you can almost use this as a powder foundation. I quite like it. Like I think that it looked beautiful. It offered an additional amount of coverage. I was more impressed with this than I was the skin tint and the concealer. And I think this is really lightweight. I'm not like, it doesn't look too heavy. All right, let's move on into Moira. This one is in the shade 100 and it says, Soft Focus Waterproof Setting Powder is a refined waterproof and oil control setting powder for a natural matte flawless finish. The hydrophobic formula uses an innovative coating technology with microspheres to create a silky smooth texture and blur pores and imperfections. Contains silica, which helps with oil control and provides a mattified skin complexion. So matte and waterproof in the shade 100. I just realized on the side here it says Moira, the goodness of destiny. I did forget to mention, and sometimes I think some of us like this, not that it matters to me, but the Make Beauty is distributed in Los Angeles, California, and I believe most of their products are actually made there as well. These two were made in the USA, the bronzer and the blush that I already had, and the pressed powder was made in Italy. I guess they can't make up their mind. The formula was made in the US for the concealer, and then the foundation was made in South Korea. Moira, it looks like the powder was made in Taiwan. All right, before I dig in here, I'll let you guys see this. It's quite pretty. I'm gonna use the other side of the sponge and again, just dip it in. Look at the difference in color on this. It's quite light. All right, let's just do the under eyes first. Guys, I don't like it. That's super pale. 100. Okay, so I just looked on their website because I couldn't remember when I bought the powder if it came in like how many shades it came in, I guess. And so they go by 100, 100, 200, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And so they do come like in, you know, I don't know, 6 different shades. And so you have a bit of range in like the depth of them. And so I'm sure that I got 100 because usually the lightest of like powders when I pick them up, I always try and get translucent, but I'm usually the lightest shade. I almost feel like I should have gotten 200 in this case because it's so brightening. I just don't like something that brightening because I feel like that really accentuates the lines under my eyes a little bit. Like I'm not really into brightening my under eyes anymore. And it looks like the shade 100 is sold out. What I like on this is that they have like these little water droplets like on the picture of the powder to show like, hey, look, it's really waterproof. So I just got my Charlotte Tilbury setting spray. I actually want to test this out. You guys want to see this? I hope I don't ruin it, but if I do, it was $12. So I don't buy that it's like super waterproof in the way that it says that it is. It definitely penetrated the powder. Like on the pictures, they show like beads of water just sitting on top of the powder. Yeah, I'm not getting that. Let's spray it on my face and see. Okay, I definitely can tell like the setting spray was kind of like sitting on top of the powder. I do think that the waterproofness of this is quite functional. but I just don't like the shade. The powder looks super heavy on my under eyes right now. Like as compared to this side, when I'm looking up close, like I can see that I'm wearing powder under my eye. So I don't think I'm a huge fan of like this powder in general. Not for my dry skin, not for what I usually go for, usually something that's pretty undetectable, and I'm detecting this. Like I don't like it. But I do like the setting powder on the Make Beauty side. Like I just think it looks really pretty. I think it added an extra bit of coverage. So I don't think I'm like totally bombing everything that I bought, but so far I'd have to say like the powder is probably, the Make Beauty powder is probably my favorite. I don't know, let's move on. I say we go into the eyeshadow next. This is the I'm Falling For You eyeshadow palette. It says Press Pigment Palette Love Letter Series palette. So I guess there's more. It's quite cute. I have opened this once. I don't think I swatched it. It comes very cute. This little card here, and I'm not sure what it is. I'm Falling For You. What just fell out? It's a seal. Like, so this is blank, and I guess you're supposed to write something, put it in the envelope to your lover, and then seal it. And it says, may require extra postage. Okay, all right. I don't know the concept behind this, but there's probably a story here that I don't know about. But it's kind of cool. It's kind of interesting. It's a pretty hefty box packaging, and it's the kind that just opens, I believe, like from here. Yeah, it looks like a little postcard on like the mirror here. There's the color story. Very cute, neutral, pinky purples. On the little insert, it's really cute. Sorry, my fan is like blowing this around, but it says, to my love, every day I get lost in that special kind of love with you, from Moira. Aww. I am going to swatch all of the shimmer shades. It feels like a cream to powder formula. Are they cream to powder? They said pressed pigments. Wow, these, I'm telling you, these feel like cream to powder. They really, really do. This one was made in China. Let's swatch them. Of course, I'm going to do live swatches. I'm just doing the shimmer shades because those are the funnest, but I'll grab some of the mattes. Look how pretty they are. I'm impressed with the swatches of the shimmers so far. I love all of the shades of the shimmers too, because I'm a huge like light shimmer color fan. This one's a duochrome. Wow, the imprints on these are totally gone just from my swatches because they're so creamy. I swear these are cream to powder. It's like a little door that I just swatched. This one's a letter. Cute. I'm gonna swatch a couple of the mattes too. They're really, really creamy. Oh, what happened? What happened, Matt? All right, what's going on? Look how light those are. I'm doing a dark brown now. Ooh, the mattes are tricky. That's not the whole palette, but that's primarily most of the shades. I'm not impressed with the mattes so far. Doing a pink and purple look for sure. So I'm gonna go into this one, Me and You, and use it as a transition shade. No, I totally changed my mind. I'm gonna go into the more pinky shade here, and it's called In Love. I think the other one will translate more warm toned, more orange on my eyes. I think the In Love one is the one that I wanna go with because I think it's definitely gonna come out more pink. It's not overly powdery. I'm just thinking that these are probably gonna be more sheer shadows and maybe buildable. Or I mean, just like a buildable formula that they have to be buildable because they're just not overly pigmented. I think that's perfect. Like I don't wanna go too heavy on the transition, but I do like it to come up a little bit to be the shade that you kind of see more of. I don't want to take this into the crease. I think probably the purple shade to move into the crease, and potentially a shimmer in the outer corner is what I think I want to do. I also have one of the Lucent cream shadows, and then I think this was kind of like viral. It's definitely one of their best sellers. This is the Diamond Daze liquid shadow. So I'm going to use this first. Like I'm going to put a darker shimmer on the outer corner, and then I'm going to use this on this eye and this on this eye, and maybe top it with some of like the duochrome shades from the palette. I'm going into this shade now, which is called Everyday, and I'm going to put that into the crease. I just thought a cool toned purple might kind of look cool in the crease. A lot of these actually look like duochromes. Like this could be a duochrome, and then these two look like duochromes. So I think I'm gonna take this Still Falling shade right here, and I'm gonna just take it on my finger, and I'm gonna tap it in the outer corner, because I think I wanna try and get as much duochromeness out of it as I can. I'm gonna take one of like the packer brushes and push some of this shade like out a little bit more. Just kind of pack it down with the brush, I think. It's beautiful. I don't know if I would call it duochrome. It just looks like there's a mixture of different color pigments in that one. Let's go into this Diamond Daze liquid shadow. It says long wearing metallic finish, and it's in the shade 05 Eye Contact. I think up until a couple of months ago, I hadn't heard of Moira Beauty, and I think what I heard about them first was these liquid shadows. There's the packaging. It looks like this is more coppery, like copper and silver pigments is kind of what it looks like, or glitters or shimmers in there. I have not played with a liquid shadow in quite some time. Look how pretty that is. Oh my gosh, no wonder these are popular. Look at that. Oh my god, look at that. Holy smokes. How's this gonna dry down? Is it gonna transfer on me? I'm going higher than my hood, like above my crease, because I need this to stand out. Uh-oh. I got bad news. It's like burning my eyelid. You guys, that is so blinding, but it's actually kind of hurting my eye. No joke. Ow. For reference, like I have super sensitive eyes, but I have never put on a liquid shadow or any shadow that's like burned my skin the way this one feels like it is. It's like fully dry. Like now I can't move it around. So it's pretty much done its thing. I want to go back into this shimmer shade and kind of blend these two together again, and then kind of take it above the crease to diffuse some of like this super sharp line out. It's really stark. Beauty is pain. Pain is beauty. It's so beautiful. Like no joke. So good. This is so good. It's not irritating my eyes anymore, but when it was wet, it was burning them. Let's go into the Lucent cream shadow. This is in the shade 02 Infinity. It almost looks very gray toned, so I don't know what to expect. Let's swatch it. There's the swatch. Let's throw this bad boy on. Still gonna like try and bring this shadow above the crease. By the way, these Refer brushes, I've used them twice so far. They're so good. Just uncomplicated. They blend every shadow so well. I usually get a lot of pretty inexpensive brushes. Like I don't usually go crazy on brushes. I don't mind $3 e.l.f. crease brushes, but I almost feel like, you know, there are times where some of my shadows don't blend good, and I wonder if it's like I'm blaming the shadow, but I should be blaming the brush. So far, the quality of the palette, really, really good. So far, the quality of this, aside from it really irritating my eyes, which you may not experience because you may not have sensitive eyes like I do, I think the quality of it was really good. I can tell once it dried down and I tried to shift it around, there was no budging it. It was not going anywhere. And I can tell that the cream, like I have quite a few like single shadows now that have just been building up my collection, and I can tell you that this is a pretty good like quality, easy to apply cream single. Of course, Moira Beauty is a little bit of a less inexpensive brand, and I will link all of the prices and the items with the shades down below. I did get a eyeliner, yeah, Continuum waterproof gel eyeliner, and this one was in the shade Otherworld. I got it from Make Beauty. Down here looks like the shade of it. The rest of the packaging is gold, and it has the black like smudger on one side, and then you pull it out or twist it out, yeah. Pull it out, and it's the sharpener down there. So, wow, it's really super creamy. Like it went on very easily. Let's apply this. I am gonna go into the lower lash line on this look and just go back into that transition shade that's called In Love. Super quickly, super lightly, just do the lower lash line. All right, there are 4 more products left, 2 from each brand. So I have a cream bronzer and cream blush. The cream bronzer says Stay Golden. It's for face and body. It's in the shade 01 Light. I feel like when I saw this online, it looked pretty neutral, but when I turn the package and I kind of look at like what the carton color looks like, it does definitely look like it's a little bit warm. It says it's free of parabens, sulfates, and phthalate, and this one was made in Taiwan. For a cream product, this actually has an 18-month shelf life. There's the packaging. It's just a potted one. There's the inside. So you can already see like it has a little bit of warmth to it. It's not an overly creamy formula. Like it has a little bit of slip to it, but it's not overly creamy. There's the swatch. Nice and pigmented. Definitely has a little bit of warmth. I probably want to go in with a lighter hand. I'm just going to go in with a sponge and apply it. The product is called Stay Golden, so it's warm. It's a warm bronzer. You have to like that. It's not neutral toned. It's very warm in the pot. It's warm on the swatch and it's warm on my cheeks. It's super pigmented and it's dry. Like it's immediately dry. It's a cream to powder. It's not tacky or anything. If you're gonna pick it up on your sponge, I just rolled mine in and I used whatever I rolled it in and applied it to my entire face. I did not go back into the product. That's how pigmented it is. There is the eyeliner, and I just tried to like wipe it off, and it doesn't wipe off on first swatch. So it has a good amount of, like, that's me scrubbing at it and there's still a little bit there. All right, the cream blush says Loveheat Cream Blush. Here's the packaging, quite cute little heart. This one is in the shade 08, I Trust You. This one is another 18-month shelf life, and this one is made in Taiwan as well. This looks like a little Tower 28 cream blush, like same exact packaging. There is that. Look how shiny that looks. I'm gonna let you see me swatch it like live. This one is much more emollient than the cream bronzer and much more sheer. Very sticky. This seems like such a cute little shade though. I'm gonna take a clean side of the brush, pick it up right here, and do the same thing. I'm just gonna use the one tap in, see if I can't build it up for both sides of my face. No, I'm gonna go back in. I like a lot of blush. I think it has a good amount of pigmentation, but it's definitely sticky. I kind of feel like it's picking up product here a little bit as I'm trying to pat it in with this sponge. And like, you know, there are ways to work around a product like this, but a lot of my cream blushes, I don't have that issue with every one of them. So it's noticeable when it is like that or when it does do that. I don't think it's overly pigmented, but I don't think it's overly sheer either. I think it's just kind of right in the middle, but I don't think this is my favorite cream blush by any means. I don't think it's the best cream blush I've ever tried. I'm just gonna throw on my Essence Lash Princess mascara really quickly and we'll come back. And then I want to test out the 2 new lip products that I have from Make Beauty. All right, I'm back. Put on the mascara. I did go to Refer's website on these brushes to see if they were still doing their like cyber deals, and they are. They still have 50% off their original 15 eye brush set. Have all of their brushes in their line in one set, which is what I purchased. And originally I think they are $390, but I got them for $150, which they call their concept store discount. So you submit honest feedback in 60 days. They don't hold you to that. They just hope that you go back to the site and you submit your honest feedback, and the whole set retails for $150. So the sale is still going on. I always wanted to get my hands on the Refer brushes, but never pulled the trigger because they were so expensive. And I just thought, I'm not gonna, like, I don't want to spend that kind of money. But because they were only $150 and I got the whole set, I waited until the day of so that I could get my hands on them, because I didn't want them to be out of stock and be able not to get that. But it looks like they are still in stock and still running the discount. So if you're interested in that, I mean, you don't have to buy the whole set. I just think that if there were some Refer brushes that you wanted to try, they have quite a few that still seem to be 50% off. So it's really good deal. Let's move on into, these are the serum balms from Make Beauty, and I got 2 shades, Halo Moon and Magnetic Mauve. These both look like they were formulated in the US, and they look like they're slightly different finishes. The one that's in Halo Moon, the more pinky one, is a serum balm, whereas this one is a serum balm intense. Packaging is very cute. There's the serum balm, and on the other side you can see the little window with the shade. I like that. It's a large doe foot applicator and it looks very sheer. There's the swatch on the Halo Moon ones. Not a lot of pigmentation on it at all. This is slightly different packaging on the Serum Balm Intense. It has a black lid, but same thing, little window for the shade there. And there's the color and the large doe foot applicator. This is still really, really sheer, but it just has more pigmentation. Like, it was hard to get a really good swatch of this because it's pretty sheer. Let's just go in with this one. Oh. It's so comfortable and pillowy. Guys, it's so comfortable. This is so comfortable. It's so good. Okay, so I'm not gonna try this one. Just not gonna do it because I tried this one and I don't want to take it off, but it is very, very, very comfortable. I'm gonna give it 3 varies because it's just like, it feels like oil. How do I describe it? Like, it's a thick enough consistency that it feels like it's gonna stay, and it gave just the right amount of pigmentation, but the hydration through the roof. Potentially favorite product of today. So let me give you my final thoughts now that I've reassessed everything that's on my face and after applying it. I'm gonna go through as I applied everything because I think that's the fairest way to do it. This I had said I'm not sure that I'm gonna like. The more that it sits on my face, I can tell that it's not sinking into my fine lines, and I actually am really liking the amount of coverage that it gave. I will say, for me, I have a hard time when I first apply something because I think that I get more coverage out of something the longer that it sits on my face, and so sometimes I tend to go too heavy on my skin tints because I'm like, oh, there's not enough coverage there, and I keep building and building, and then I just don't like how much coverage I've applied because it starts to break up. Now that it's actually sat there, I think I like this a little bit better. I think I really like the amount of coverage, and I don't think I overdid it. I think I just put on enough. Take a look at the situation. If you're someone who loves skin tints, I actually think this is quite a nice product. Kind of unique. It's very, very glowy before I mattified it with powder. So that's something that you're interested in. I don't think this is bad. Let's talk about this concealer. So I put 2 different powders on both sides of my face. This one is creasing. Can you see it? It's creasing super heavy on this eye and not on this eye. If you can still see my dark circles under my eyes, especially this side. So I just don't think this is great for spot concealing. It's probably not something that I'm gonna absolutely love, but it's a lightweight, light coverage, radiant concealer. So if you like that, that's what you're gonna get out of this. This was not my favorite. I loved the amount of coverage that the Make Beauty setting powder gave on this side. Initially, I didn't love this powder under the eyes because it's really a shade that was super brightening and it looked kind of heavy on my skin. Now that it's had time to sit there, I don't think it looks overly heavy. And so far, I'm liking both of these for different reasons. Palette, A+. I really liked the way everything blended. I think the shades are beautiful, and I think it was really, really good quality. The liquid shadow, like, this eye is beaming. So this is excellent. Like, if you like liquid shadows and you want something that's gonna like stay put, this is the one. This is really good. I can see why this is a super popular product. This one is really, really pigmented. As far as like cream singles go, I think this is a really good option. I've got Charlotte Tilbury, I've got Hourglass, I've got single shadows coming out of my eyeballs at this point, Victoria Beckham, some that are super, super expensive that I think are just as good as this one, and this one is a lot less expensive. The bronzer has a bit of warmth. It's quite easy to blend out, really pigmented. One dip, I put my whole bronzer on, but you have to like warmth. So if you're looking for something neutral, that's not it. I did end up setting the blush down. I don't know if I'm gonna include that or I'm gonna cut that part, but I think it was really nice after I set it because it was really sticky and it's not sticky anymore. I think it has a good amount of pigmentation. I think it was a little bit of a more finicky product. Like, I was definitely trying to like maybe build up in certain areas that I felt like it was lifting, but there are some blushes that, you know, do require a little bit more of my attention, and some of them are super duper easy. I just don't think this one was like super duper easy, but I do think it's a good blush. The gel eyeliner, I think this is a 10 out of 10 for me. I love the packaging. I like that you have a sharpener on one side and then a smudger. I think that's really cool. And I think this comes in pretty cool shades, if I can remember correctly. And I think it performed really, really well and it stayed on. The last products were these, and I already told you, super big fan of this. If you pick up anything from Make Beauty just to give it a shot, I think these are like overlooked. Like, people just don't even know that these Serum Balm Intense things exist, but they're badass. It's like a lip oil with a tint that's not sticky. I don't know, badass, 10 out of 10. I think this will perform very similarly. I can't tell you if I like it or don't like it. I liked the fact that this one's just more sheer, so if you wanted something that isn't very pigmented like this one, you have that option in their line. But I think that I'm gonna go with like, yeah, this one's probably gonna be badass too. You're gonna be badass. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I hope you hit that like button. I hope you consider subscribing to my channel because I have fun doing this. I hope you guys have fun too. Even if these aren't the most informative reviews, I am an everyday user of makeup. I go to work every single day. I have to wear a lot of neutrals and, you know, wearable colors. I'm very hard on my face and I don't have time to reapply. This isn't my day job. I'm just a lover of makeup. Again, I hope you consider subscribing to my channel if you're not already, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.